It's all about finding that sweet spot during these sessions, like tuning a didgeridoo, but way faster.
Haha, and a lot noisier. But you're right. In Indy, we fine-tune until it feels just right. Every lap here is a step towards perfection.
You know, mate, watching these practice sessions, you'd think the driver just jumps in and goes. But there's a heck of a lot more to it, starting with that aero package, the balance between drag and downforce.
Oh, for sure. You tweak the front wing just a smidge, and you could have a totally different beast on your hands. Depending on the track, they might want more downforce for those tight corners or reduce it for the long straights to maximize speed.
Not Clinton Kakatan's on the out lap, getting a taste of the tarmac. It's like sniffing the cork before a good wine. First impressions matter.
Exactly. They're assessing the grip, the balance, the whole shebang. You can learn a lot in these quiet moments before the throttle really opens up.
McDougall's first flyer is a solid start, clocking in at 240.853. They're getting a feel for the track, but there's room to shave off a few more seconds.
Absolutely, Rob. It's all about finding those little tweaks, adjusting the line here, braking a tad later there. Every lap is a learning curve.
There goes not Clinton Kakatan on their first dance with Mugello. Every bend, every straight is a chance to learn, to adapt.
Yep, and it's about syncing with the car too, making sure everything's in harmony. It's like tuning an instrument before a big concert.
D-Max posted a 8:11.275 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Yoff crosses the line with their first flyer, clocking a 155.102. They're getting to grips with Mugello, feeling out its quirks and corners.
It's like the first round of a chess match, Rob. They're making their opening moves, setting up for the later, faster laps where they'll really show their hand.
Wayne Pearson has a best lap time of 154.669. And off goes Chris Draarisma, easing into the rhythm of Mugello. This lap is like the first sip of your morning coffee, waking up the sensors, priming the engines.
Yeah, it's about syncing up with the machine, getting that perfect harmony between driver and car. It's like a prelude to a symphony that's about to unfold on the track.
Jack M team is on the out lap, not just warming up the tires, but also warming up their instincts, getting the racer's intuition dialed in.
True that. They're getting the feel of the track, the car, the conditions. It's all about setting the stage for what's to come.
Yoff posted 155.102 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? And there's not Clinton Kakatan, easing out onto Mugello. It's like the first step on a long hike, finding your footing before you hit full stride.
Right, and every racer knows this out lap is precious. It's their first handshake with the track today, feeling out its mood and temperament.
Wayne Pearson's first serious lap is in the books with a time of 154.669. Good effort, but I'm expecting them to really push the envelope in the next few laps.
Yeah, it's about building that momentum, Rob. Fine-tuning their approach with each turn, each lap, getting more out of the car and themselves.
In these sessions, they're not just pushing the car's limits, but their own too. Testing their mettle, seeing how far they can go before the big dance.
Exactly. It's a mental game as much as a physical one. Balancing aggression with precision, daring with data. It's an art and a science.
Now, here's a term some might not be familiar with: roll bar stiffness. Sounds technical, doesn't it?
It does, but in essence, it's about how the car reacts to lateral forces, especially during cornering. Adjusting the roll bar can change how the car behaves mid-corner. A softer setting can be more forgiving, but a stiffer one might give the driver a quicker response, albeit with less margin for error.
There's the first flying lap for Superman, hitting 153.801. It's a start, but they'll be looking to iron out those kinks as they get more laps under their belt.
Right on, Rob. It's early in the session, so there's plenty of time to experiment and find those extra tenths of a second.
There's Jack M Team, gently nudging the beast as they head out. The out lap is where you whisper to the car, "Let's dance," before the real party starts.
You got that right. It's a gentle waltz before the full-on rock concert of the race. They're testing the waters, getting a feel for every bend and straight of Mugello.
Eddie G is out there, taking it slow and steady on the out lap. This lap is like the calm before the storm, a moment of zen before pushing the limits.
That's right. It's about understanding the track's personality today in Euro. Each day, each lap can tell a different story, especially at a track like Mugello.
Watch as Megasaurus 55 takes it nice and easy on this out lap. It's not just about warming up the tires, it's about getting into that mental pit lane, tuning into the race mindset.
For sure, Rob, they're calibrating everything: the brakes, the steering, the throttle response. It's a crucial part of laying down the groundwork for a successful practice session.
With just 258 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. D-Max has a best lap time of 8:11.275. Alright, Mr. Bang has put down a 4:18.409. It's a decent benchmark, but I reckon there's more juice to squeeze out of that radical state route free.
For sure, Rob, it's early days. They're just starting to sync up with the track. We'll likely see those times tumble as they dial in.
Eddie G's on the out lap, getting a taste of the tarmac. It's like sniffing the cork before a good wine. First impressions matter.
Exactly. They're assessing the grip, the balance, the whole shebang. You can learn a lot in these quiet moments before the throttle really opens up.
Yoff, first flyer is a solid start, clocking in at 158.259. They're getting a feel for the track, but there's room to shave off a few more seconds.
Absolutely, Rob. It's all about finding those little tweaks, adjusting the line here, braking a tad later there. Every lap is a learning curve.
D-Max crosses the line with their first flyer, clocking at 8:11.275. They're getting to grips with Mugello, feeling out its quirks and corners.
It's like the first round of a chess match, Rob. They're making their opening moves, setting up for the later, faster laps where they'll really show their hand.
You ever think about what's ticking inside a driver's noggin during these laps?
All the time. It's a mix of analyzing, strategizing, and adapting. Every corner, every straight is a puzzle, and they're trying to solve it at full speed.
There are just over 255 minutes left in this practice session. Wayne Pearson posted a 1:55.641 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Yoff posted 4:20.247 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? With just 253 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. You've joined us on a breezy day here at Mugello as we're getting ready to kick things off.
The calm before the storm. I don't know about you, Rob, but I can't wait to see who comes out on top of this one.
Starting from pole position is the perfect place for Mike O'Hagan to launch an attack.
But they can't let their guard down. The other drivers will be gunning for them.
On the second grid slot we have Jack M team.
Let's see what Jack M team can do.
Taking off from the third grid slot is the skilled driver, not Clinton Kakadin. Sunrider lines up in fourth place as the engines rev and the race begins.
But they're going to have to be quick out of the blocks if they want to keep up with the top performers.
The fifth position belongs to Superman.
Superman will be taking no prisoners today.
Megasaurus 55 is lining up sixth. Starting from 7th on the grid is a good position for Wayne Pearson to launch an attack.
Starting on the medium's tires.
From the middle of the pack, we have Mr. Bang in 8th place on the starting grid. As the engines roar to life, Robbie prepares to take off from the 9th position on the starting grid.
Another mid-pack start for Robbie.
D-Max will be looking to gain ground quickly as they start from 10th on the grid. Chris Draisma may have a bit of work to do starting from 11th on the grid.
Where can Chris Draisma put that radical SR3?
Starting from 12th on the grid is a decent position for McDougall, all things considered. Eddie G is going to be starting from 13th. Starting from 14th on the grid is not ideal for YOV, but they're a fighter.
They have the talent to make their way to the front of the pack.
The green flag's up and the Sheilas and blokes are bolting. This is the real deal, Hal.
Lukey here, it's a true testament of a driver's grit. Gotta keep that car sticking like molasses in January. And if they ain't sharp, well, they might find themselves talking a little detour off the track.
The pressure is on whilst the field is bunched. Who can keep their cool and take advantage? This is going to be one hell of a race. I can already feel it.
A good old-fashioned southern standoff, that's what Superman's doing. Holding their ground, and sometimes that's the best strategy in the early laps.
All the drivers will be trying to take advantage of the pack whilst they're still bunched up. As we watch the drivers fight it out in the first lap, I can already feel that this is going to be an epic race. Now, isn't that a sight? Jack M team hanging tight at 2. Maybe they're waiting for everyone else to make their move. Smart as a whip, that one.
The first lap can always be a bit of a bung fight as everyone tries to establish themselves. It's easy for inexperienced racers to blow it in T1.
You know, they say, steady as she goes, and that's exactly what Sunrider's doing. Holding on to 4, maybe they've got a trick or 2 up their sleeve for later. This is where legends are made. Which driver will rise to the occasion and claim victory? It's a game of inches now as Sunrider tails Jack M team closely, ready to capitalize on any mistake. Megasaurus 55 has the pedal to the metal chasing not Clinton Kakadin.
Do they have the speed for a move? And more importantly, do they have the talent?
Alright, hold your horses. Wayne Pearson is really putting the heat on Megasaurus 55. If I were Megasaurus 55, I'd be checking those mirrors non-stop.
It's going to be a close one. Wayne Pearson will have to push hard to create an opportunity.
The intensity is off the charts as Jack M team hounds Superman, both drivers pushing themselves to the absolute limit.
You know what they say, keep your friends close, and your racing rivals even closer. Looks like Jack M team is taking that advice to heart today.
Mate, Chris Graham is right up Mr. Bang's chuff. As they zip through Scarperia, we're all expecting some fireworks. Heartbreak for Chris Drarisma as they slip down the field. Get ready, folks. With Sunrider tailing this close to Jack M team, Corantayo is about to become a hotspot.
One wrong move and we could see a spectacular new synchronized pirouette performance by Sunrider and Jack M team, though I doubt the judges would give them a perfect score.
Now isn't this a show? Jack M team's gotten the bit between their teeth and they're reeling in Superman. Look at him weave and bob through Bucci folks.
The only thing closer than Jack M team to Superman right now is the paint on their cars. Talk about a close encounter.
Someone should tell Superman this ain't a Sunday drive. Jack M team's tearing up the track. Oh dear, Jack M team has dropped down to 3rd.
Yes, but they can't give up. There's still plenty of time left in this race, and Jack M team needs to stay focused and keep pushing.
The gap between Jack M team and Sunrider is razor thin as they vie for 3rd in this nail-biting contest. The crowd is on its feet as McDougall chases down Sunrider through Aero Arta 1.
Sweet tea and biscuits. McDougall's closing in on Sunrider. I reckon we'll see some fireworks at Aero Arta 1.
Blimey, Sunrider is sticking to Wayne Pearson like a kangaroo to her Joey. At this rate, they'll be side by side as they hit Scarperia. Sunrider appears to be losing ground on Wayne Pearson. They will need to pick up the pace a bit as they head into Beyond AT and see if they can get a good exit and gain some ground. This is what high-octane racing looks like. Chris Drarisma is breathing down the neck of Mr. Bang, not giving him any room to relax.
As a former driver, I can tell you there's nothing quite like the adrenaline rush when you're this close to your rival, ready to make your move.
Wayne Pearson could be looking for a way up the inside of Sunrider. It's an intense battle for position as McDougall tries to outmaneuver Wayne Pearson. This is edge of your seat racing.
This is the moment where legends are made. These drivers will go down in history as the ones who fought tooth and nail for the top spot.
As they speed through Paggio Secco, Chris Drarisma is relentlessly pursuing Mr. Bang in a high-stakes battle for position. Mate, are they packing something extra down under? Chris Drarisma's just rocketed into 12th. Blimey, not Clinton Kakatan is closing in on Jack M team like they owe them money. This duel is going to light up AOB Arta 1. Crikey, not Clinton Kakatan is losing touch with Jack M team quicker than a kangaroo on a trampoline. Talk about intense. Wayne Pearson is on Sunrider's bumper. We're in for a treat as they approach B-owned AT. I tell you what, Wayne Pearson has got more problems than a maths book right now. Sunrider is leaving them in a cloud of dust. Fantastic racing on show here today, and it's not just the top drivers who are impressing us. Even the drivers at the back of the pack are putting up a good fight, battling it out for every position.
It's a testament to the level of competition at Assetto Corsa, friends. Even the smallest mistake can cost you valuable seconds, or even lead to a crash. But these drivers are up to the challenge, and they're giving it their all. It's clear that Assetto Corsa, friends, really is the place to be for top-quality racing.
It's all eyes on this battle as Wayne Pearson in 7th tries to hold off the challenge of McDougall. It looks like Superman is pulling away from Jack M team. The gap is continuing to grow as they head through Sable League. The fans are on the edge of their seats. It doesn't get any closer than this. It's not coming up roses for not Clinton Kakatan. They're trailing Jack M team and the gap's on the rise. They don't seem to have a response. It's like bringing a knife to a gunfight. Buckle up. Sunrider is all over Megasaurus 55 like a cheap suit. Are we about to see some wheel-to-wheel action? Every race has its heartbreaking news, folks. Jack M team is pitting. Cricky, Jack M team's got more ground to cover than I do at the family barbecue when Auntie Sharon's had one too many. Good luck, mate. I think Megasaurus 55 is going to try and outbrake Radical State Route 3 as they come into Rectilino. This could gain them the place, but it may all end badly. Seems like Megasaurus 55 is getting in range of Sunrider. You know, pal, it's been a relatively quiet race so far.
That's right, Rob. The drivers seem to be pacing themselves and waiting for the right moment to make their move. It's like watching a slow dance.
This is what it's all about, folks. Megasaurus 55 is in hot pursuit of Sunrider, who's just trying to stay ahead. Did you blink? Because Jack M team just laid down a scorcher of a lap. Even my ex never left that fast. It's like watching two predators circling each other, waiting for the perfect moment to pounce. Blimey, Jack M Team's shifted gears and the results are clear, cruising up to second just like that.
Man, if racing was a barbecue, Jack M Team just threw down the spiciest ribs. Up to second and sizzling.
Well, that's an unexpected descent. Jack M Team finds themselves repositioned at third.
Yes, but there's still plenty of race left. Jack M Team needs to stay calm and focused and make their move when the time is right.
Wow, not Clinton Kakaten is really pushing hard to catch up to Jack M Team. There's blood in the water for third place.
That's right, Rob. The pressure is palpable. The fans are on the edge of their seats, waiting to see who will come out on top in this epic showdown.
The action is non-stop as Wayne Pearson shadows McDougall through every twist and turn, determined to claim seventh.
Rob, last time I saw Wayne Pearson this riled up, there were sparks flying off the track. Get ready for a showdown.
It's neck and neck, the closest battle we've seen in a while. It looks like Eddie G is all over YOV. I think they are gonna press him through Sable Lee and try and press for a mistake.
For sure, Rob, that's exactly what I would be doing here, as YOV is gonna be aware of them riding their bumper. There is no room for error in this battle.
Gee whiz, Megasaurus 55 is breathing down Sunrider's neck. Wouldn't want to be in Sunrider's rearview mirror right now, it's getting crowded. The gap between Megasaurus 55 and Sunrider is expanding faster than a bull's waistline. It's now a whopping 0.4 seconds. It's a thrilling pursuit as not Clinton Kakaten is right behind Jack M Team, keeping the pressure on for third place. These engines aren't just humming for fun. They're thirstier than an Aussie after a game of cricket in the sun.
Cricket? That's like baseball with longer games, right? Anyway, these engines do have a roar that could rival any muscle car back home.
No room for error here. Megasaurus 55 is breathing down the neck of Sunrider, waiting for the perfect chance to make their move.
You know, Rob, I wouldn't put it past Megasaurus 55 to pull a rabbit out of the hat in this duel. Keep those eyes peeled.
The adrenaline is pumping as Eddie G gets within striking distance of YOV in their race for ninth. Eddie G wants to find a way round YOV.
To achieve anything in this game, you must be prepared to dabble in the boundary of disaster.
Blimey, Jack M Team's cranking up the downforce, making every newton of force count. That gap's shrinking faster than my wallet at the pub. Did you ever think about the physics at play here? The G-forces these drivers feel, especially during tight corners. It's mind-boggling.
Absolutely, Rob. And it's not just the car's engineering, but the human body's resilience and adaptability. The way these drivers train to withstand and use those forces to their advantage. It's an art form combined with sheer grit.
Coming into Red Tilano, the fight for ninth is heating up. Who will be the first to blink?
They say rubbing is racing, but if Eddie G gets too close, they might end up trading carbon fiber souvenirs instead of positions.
Tell ya what, Jack M Team's got more followers right now than I do on Insta. Which, to be fair, isn't saying much. Hold on to your hats. Eddie G is gunning for YOV. Reckon we might see some cheeky moves on the next bend?
At this rate, Eddie G and YOV are so close they could share a cup of tea and a biscuit.
I swear, Eddie's on the prowl, making that leap to ninth look as easy as a Sunday Arvo barbecue. Eddie's got the tail tighter than a kangaroo in a hammock. If YOV is gonna make a pass, they'll have to buy them a drink first. Hold on to your hats, folks. Chris Drarisma is right on the heels of D-Max, and we're in for a wild ride. It's like David versus Goliath out there. Chris Drarisma just slung a stone and gained ground, while D-Max is left searching for footing.
You see, it's moments like these that separate the champs from the chumps. And Chris Drarisma's looking every bit the champ today.
It's a close race between D-Max and Chris Drarisma in 11th. Looking at the lap times, D-Max is not on pace with Chris Drarisma. Can they turn it around?
D-Max is looking like a deer caught in the headlights. Meanwhile, Chris Drarisma is off to the races, making Mama proud.
It's a brilliant day for racing here at Mugello. I'm really enjoying this.
This race is truly epic. What a treat to be sat here witnessing this spectacle.
Things are getting spicy as D-Max is breathing down Chris Drarisma's neck. The gap? Mate, you couldn't slide a credit card between them. Bugger me, not Clinton Kakaden's got their thongs stuck in the mud. Meanwhile, Jack M team is off like a bucket of prawns in the sun. So, Hal, considering the high speeds and split-second decision-making involved in racing, what's the impact of even a minor lapse in concentration?
A minor lapse in concentration can have significant consequences, Rob. It could lead to an off-track excursion, a loss of position, or even a collision. That's why it's crucial for drivers to stay focused and alert throughout.
Stop the press. Blimey. Yoff. Veered off the track like I veer away from commitment. Maybe they'll come back, unlike my ex. Blimey, not Clinton Kakaden is dragging a bit, huh? If they were any slower, they'd be going backwards. Jack M team's having a field day out there. I've been analysing races for quite some time, and the sheer endurance of these drivers never ceases to amaze me.
Couldn't agree more. It's not just about physical stamina but mental fortitude. To stay sharp, lap after lap, especially with so many variables at play, it's a testament to their dedication and skill.
Oh my, Eddie G is hot on the tail of Wayne Pearson. As they come into Ret Telanio, I'm sure they may have a cheeky peek up the inside. Fair dinkum, Eddie G is getting a wriggle on. The gap to Wayne Pearson is now down to a whisker at 0.4 seconds. In your experience, Hal, what was the most important aspect of managing tyre degradation during a race?
The most important aspect, Rob, was maintaining a good balance between pushing hard and conserving tires. Finding the sweet spot between aggression and tire preservation was key to optimizing race pace and strategy.
The gap between not Clinton Kakaden and Jack M team is widening. It's now up to 0.6 seconds. Now, that's what I'm talking about. Eddie G is proper nipping at Wayne Pearson's heels. Are they thinking of making a lunge? Only time will tell. It seems like Eddie G is struggling. They are not able to maintain their pace. It's a tale of two drivers right now, with Eddie G gaining places and Wayne Pearson losing them. It's a game of inches now as Wayne Pearson tails Eddie G closely, ready to capitalize on any mistake.
If Wayne Pearson gets any closer to Eddie G, they'll need to start sending out wedding invitations.
I tell you, mate, the tech in these cars would outshine any gizmo you'd find in a Sydney cafe.
As long as it doesn't make my morning coffee, I'm good. But yeah, the tech here is like something out of Silicon Valley.
This is where legends are made. Which driver will rise to the occasion and claim victory?
Now, that's some driving, y'all. Wayne Pearson is putting the pressure on Eddie G. It's like watching a cat stalk a bird. They're inching closer with every turn.
Well, I'll be a monkey's Uncle Hal, but not Clinton Kakaden's plans have gone walkabout right now. They're having a proper Barry Crocker keeping up with Jack M team. Oh, talk about a tango on tarmac. Sorry to cut in here. Well, McDougal's decided to give the local wildlife a closer look. I hope the drop bears didn't get to them.
Holy smokes, McDougal's serving up some backyard barbecue with that smoke show. Just missing the ribs.
Whoa there, Wayne Pearson is sticking to Eddie G like glue. You reckon Eddie's feeling the pressure? Cause I sure would.
Oi, Rob, wouldn't want to be in Eddie's shoes right now, would y'all? Talk about a pressure cooker situation.
This is what racing is all about. Two fierce competitors pushing each other to the limit. Ripper of a move. Eddie's not just in the race. They're owning it. Today, 7th.
That's what we like to see. Eddie G is really showing their class today.
On a lighter note, if I could eat, I'd kill for some of the trackside snacks right about now.
Oh, absolutely. But you know, my digestion is a real mess.
Is that what the smell is? Things are heating up as McDougal closes in on Wayne Pearson. The gap between them is down to practically nothing. Not Clinton Kakaden's playing hard to get, eh? If they drop the pace anymore, they'll be in reverse. But crikey, Jack M team's just raring to go. Now isn't this a show? Wayne Pearson's gotten the bit between their teeth and they're reeling in Eddie G. Look at him weave and bob through Pelagio folks. Gee whiz, Wayne Pearson's getting some solid torque out of those corners. They must have figured out the perfect throttle control while trail braking.
Just what Wayne Pearson needed, like sweet tea on a hot day. Can't let Eddie G out of sight for too long.
With all these modern racing aids, I sometimes wonder, with the legends of the past, the real trailblazers of the sport, have had it easier or tougher today?
That's a debate for the ages, Rob. The tracks might have evolved.
Hold up a moment. A great moment for Wayne Pearson, who has just gained a place and moved up the standings. Look at this. Wayne Pearson is practically drafting off Eddie G. With the gap this small, Rhett Tilanio is going to be a real test. The gap between D-Max and Chris Drarisma is razor thin as they vie for 9th in this nail-biting contest.
A misjudgment by either driver could result in a close encounter of the tire barrier kind, and that's one handshake they'll want to avoid.
D-Max is pushing hard and has reduced the gap to Chris Driersma to 0.5 seconds.
Dang, D-Max's fuel strategy and conservation of those brakes is spot on. They're inching closer to Chris Driersma like a hound on a hot dog.
Alright, lads and ladies, it's crunch time. Wayne Pearson is sniffing around Eddie G like a dog with a bone. And it looks like they might just take a bite out of 6th.
Mate, if I had $1 for every time Wayne Pearson looked like overtaking, I'd be sipping mojitos on a beach right now.
The gap between Wayne Pearson and Eddie G is growing. It's now up to 0.7 seconds. Alright, hold your horses. Mr. Bang is really wait, oi, Roby tried to pull a Steve Irwin and wrestle with the track limits. Track 1, Roby 0.
Well, slap my head and call me silly. Robbie just made a doozy of a blunder.
Not much room to breathe for YOV, with Mr. Bang trailing so close. I reckon we'll see a move soon, especially at Bucine.
With the way Mr. Bang is stalking YOV, you'd think they're trying to figure out what they had for breakfast this morning.
Mr. Bang's been working the tyre temps, and it's paying off. Grip's better than a kangaroo on a trampoline. Watch out, YOV.
Now this is what I call some high-octane excitement. Both drivers pedal down, looking to grab the brass ring.
It's looking good for Mr. Bang, who has gained places and put some distance between themselves and YOV.
Go, 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 that's what we want to see.
The tension is palpable. Who will come out on top in this epic showdown?
Wayne Pearson is following Eddie G so closely, they could start charging them rent for occupying the same space on the track.
Roby is placed 13th at the moment. It seems like Roby is struggling. They are not able to maintain their pace. This is where the skill and precision of the drivers really comes into play. Wayne Pearson is chasing Eddie G in P6. Wayne Pearson's giving it a red-hot go, but can't seem to muster the pace to keep up with Eddie G. It's like chasing a roux on a motorbike. With steely determination and laser focus, D-Max is homing in on Chris Driersma. The battle lines are drawn. D-Max is on the back foot here, struggling to keep up with Chris Driersma like a dingo after a roadrunner. Things are heating up as Wayne Pearson tries to close the gap to Eddie G. Struth, Wayne Pearson's lap time slower than a roux with a limp. Wonder if they've had a few too many frothies last night. Eddie's not waiting around to find out. Bloody hell, Wayne Pearson's tearing up the tarmac and just snatched 6th. Makes you want to crack a cold one in celebration. Looks like D-Max is really pushing it to the limit. They're taking those curbs aggressively, but that can unsettle the car and cause handling issues.
Indeed, taking too much curb can upset the car's balance, leading to oversteer or understeer. It's all about finding the right balance between speed and control. This is more than a race. It's a battle of wills, of nerve, of sheer determination. It's looking good for Jack M team, sitting in 7th.
Looks like Superman's strategy might just be to let the rest of them die of old age. It's a waiting game now.
I've seen funeral processions move faster than Superman right now. Come to think of it, at least they've got a destination in mind.
It's game on now. Superman has closed the gap to Jack M team. It's now down to 2.6 seconds.
With every lap, I can see Superman making micro adjustments on that steering wheel, refining traction control. They're itching to show Jack M team their taillights.
Every move counts now as Wayne Pearson works to reel in Eddie G and overtake for P4.
They say pressure makes diamonds. Well, Wayne Pearson's shining bright, closing in with every heartbeat.
Everyone's on the edge of their seats, or in my case, on the edge of spilling my coffee. D-Max is getting closer to Chris Drarisma, and I'm getting closer to needing a towel. The gap between Chris Drarisma and D-Max is not insurmountable, but it's going to take a mistake from Chris Drarisma to bring D-Max into play.
If this was a game of beach cricket, D-Max be still waiting for their turn to bat. Chris Drarisma's got a good lead on them.
Chris Drarisma is burning rubber like there's no tomorrow. D-Max needs to show some ticker if they want to close that gap.
Well, Rob, as we say in North Carolina, the race ain't over till the checkered flag. Let's see if D-Max has some tricks up their sleeve.
Oof, if Megasaurus 55 was a kangaroo, they'd be roadkill by now. Come on, mate, put some pep in that step.
Indeed, the tension is palpable as Megasaurus 55 tries to reel in Sunrider. But Sunrider is not making it easy.
Hold up a moment. Just like my hope in finding the one, Jack M team's direction seems a bit lost right now.
Hot diggity. If Jack M team had a banjo, they'd be strumming a sad tune right about now.
As the laps wind down, the hunt intensifies. Jack M team is lurking, ready to unleash an overtaking masterclass on Superman. Even though D-Max is a fair way behind Chris Drarisma, they can't afford to let their guard down. Chris Drarisma is still vulnerable to mistakes.
Surely they've got enough in the tank to pull away. Gonna be interesting to watch this battle unfold.
The track tells a tale of speed, strategy, and skill. Today, it narrates Eddie's journey in 8th. It's all about consistency for YOV, who is currently 10th. Stone the Crows. Yovies pulled a sneaky, landing at 11th. Always a surprise with them. This is what high-octane racing looks like. Mr. Bang is breathing down the neck of YOV, not giving him any room to relax.
If this battle ends in tears, it could be like watching a high-speed domino effect, but let's hope they keep it clean and avoid any unplanned games.
Crikey, Mr. Bang is losing touch with YOV, quicker than a kangaroo on a trampoline. Mate, Mr. Bang's really giving it a burl out there, ripping it up like a croc in a waterhole.
I tell ya, I haven't seen that kind of ferocity since my days at Indy. But you Aussies, always gotta bring up the wildlife, huh?
Like a scene from a thriller, Mr. Bang's on Yovi's tail, hungry for that spot.
I think they're going to take that.
With the asphalt burning beneath them, Eddie's strategy seems to be working, placing them in 8th. Oh, this is getting intense. Yoff is just behind D-Max. Crikey, Yovi's moving up faster than a cold one disappears on a hot day. They've clinched 10th. You know, racing is all about strategy. It's like choosing between a sausage sizzle and a meat pie.
Sausage? Sizzle? Why not just grab a burger and call it a day? But I get your point. Strategy is everything out here.
Stone the Crows. D-Max is in 11th, but if I know them, Yovi's gonna cop an Aussie-style sneak attack real soon. D-Max appears to be losing ground on Yoff. They will need to pick up the pace a bit as they head into Red Tilano and see if they can get a good exit and gain some ground. While Wayne Pearson is not under immediate threat from McDougall, they still need to stay focused and avoid any errors. Any slip-up could cost them their position. He can't hold on. Wayne Pearson is losing time to McDougall.
Wayne Pearson better find a way to step on the gas, or else McDougall will be whizzing past before you can say, checkered flag.
Looks like we've had a few incidents out there.
Someone forgot to take their driving lessons. They're making more U-turns than a confused tourist.
Hilarious. I think they might need to call their GPS for directions. Maybe it can help them navigate the track. Buckle up. D-Max is all over YOV. Like a cheap suit. Are we about to see some wheel-to-wheel action?
D-Max is so close to YOV that if this were a dance floor, they'd be doing the tango.
I tell you what, D-Max has got more problems than a maths book right now. YOV is leaving them in a cloud of dust. I love being here at Mugello. What an awesome place to be witnessing these titans of the track battle it out.
Indeed, Rob, what a magnificent sight and sound. I love listening to the roar of these engines. Let's just listen for a moment.
It's an intense battle for position as Mr. Bang tries to outmaneuver D-Max. This is edge of your seat racing.
When I was racing, we had a saying, if you're not living on the edge, you're taking up too much space. Mr. Bang is definitely living on the edge today.
Things are looking as crook as Rookwood for Mr. Bang, lagging behind D-Max and the gap stretching out like a long country road. They'll need to find some extra grunt to flip this situation. The excitement is palpable. This is going to be a race for the ages.
The drivers are executing their strategies to perfection, making the most of every opportunity. This is what top-level racing is all about.
Mr. Bang is on a mission, chasing D-Max, who's desperately trying to stay ahead. The gap between Wayne Pearson and McDougall may be wide, but that doesn't mean Wayne Pearson is safe. They have to keep their concentration and avoid any lapses in performance. Wayne Pearson is giving a masterclass out there, but will overconfidence be their downfall?
Indeed, Rob, pride comes before a fall. Let's see if McDougall can capitalize on any mistake.
Oi, D-Max is on YOV, like a drop bear on an unsuspecting tourist.
Drop bear? Had to Google that one. But yeah, here it's like a linebacker on a quarterback sack. The gap's closing, the clock's ticking, and the finish line awaits its champion.
Mate, D-Max is creeping up on YOV, like a dingo on a picnic. Must have tweaked that brake bias a touch to the rear.
That's a great effort from D-Max. They need to keep up the pressure and see if they can make a move.
It's like a Barbie in summer. Yoff, is the snag sizzling on the grill, and D-Max, the hungry mate waiting for a bite.
I've seen YOV in tight spots before, but D-Max is breathing down their neck.
Yeah, reckon it's tighter than a Sydney parking spot right now. You wouldn't read about it. Yoff is putting a fair whack of space between them and D-Max.
Yeah, Rob, Yov's really hitting the gas, but can D-Max kick it into high gear and catch up?
It's a battle of wills out there, with Mike trying to outsmart and outmaneuver McDougall. The gap is slowly closing, but time is running out. Will we see a dramatic finish to this race? The gap between Mike and McDougall is fading faster than the last rays of the outback sun.
Well, butter my butt and call me a biscuit. Mike O'Hagan's using that draft from McDougall real effectively, shaving off tenths every lap.
Megasaurus 55 is placed 7th at the moment. They are hoping to keep their distance ahead of Eddie G, who is 9.4 seconds behind.
It's like Megasaurus 55's out on the open highway and Eddie's still getting directions at the last gas station. Got a bit of catching up to do.
Struth. If D-Max gets any closer to YOV, they'll be asking to share a meat pie. Watch them duel it out at Buchi Nay.
This battle between D-Max and YOV is so intense, you could cut the tension with a knife, or should I say, with a front wing.
Oi, D-Max's chassis balance is on point today. They're handling bumps and curbs smoother than a croc sliding into water. Yovi's got a battle ahead.
Exactly what D-Max needed. They can't afford to lose any more ground to YOV.
Mr. Bang is running 12th. They are trying to catch D-Max. In your experience, Hal, what was the most challenging aspect of maintaining concentration during a race?
The most challenging aspect, Rob, was managing the various inputs and distractions during the race, from radio communication with the team to monitoring car performance and race strategy. It's a delicate balancing act that requires immense mental discipline.
Pushing too hard can lead to mistakes, and we're seeing that now. That car is really unsettled as they push for every last bit of speed. Superb driving from D-Max, who with that overtake has gained a position in the race. Things are getting spicy now, as McDougall and Wayne Pearson look to battle it out for 6th place.
Hate to say it, but McDougall might just find themselves getting lapped. Kinda like that time I tried line dancing and ended up tripping over my own boots.
Blimey, Wayne Pearson is closing in on McDougall like they owe them money. This duel is going to light up San Donato. It's not coming up roses for Wayne Pearson. They're trailing McDougall and the gap's on the rise. They don't seem to have a response. It's like bringing a knife to a gunfight. Look at Sunrider trying to close that gap on Jack M Team. Kind of like me trying to get close to a decent Barbie back home.
Barbie? Oh, you mean a barbecue. Yeah, but over here it's like trying to catch the last slice of pizza at a Super Bowl party.
This is going to be a nail-biter. Jack M Team is defending for their life, but Sunrider is right there. Can they do it?
Hold on to your hat, Hal.
Sunrider is hot on the heels of Jack M Team. The gap's narrowed down to a meager 2.4 seconds.
This ain't Jack M Team's first rodeo, but they've got a real challenge on their hands keeping Sunrider in the rearview mirror.
Blimey, D-Max is gunning it in 11th. Just a whisker behind YOV. Hope he's got his budgie smugglers on, cause things are about to get wet and wild.
One important aspect here is choosing the right braking points. D-Max needs to be precise to avoid overshooting and losing valuable time.
It looks like D-Max is making a move. The gap to YOV is now down to 0.8 seconds.
This is where the pressure really starts to build. Both drivers will need to stay calm and focused if they want to come out on top.
Mate, McDougall's right up Ed Egg's chuff. As they zip through Saville Lee, we're all expecting some fireworks. Remember when we thought McDougall had peaked? Think again. They're harnessing every bit of downforce and it's making Ed Egg's mirrors awfully busy.
This here's where the steel meets the pavement. Both drivers got to keep their cool if they're looking to take the checkered flag.
We got a close battle as D-Max closes in on YOV. Looks like D-Max remembered to twist that anti-roll bar, giving him better cornering. If they get any closer to YOV, they'll be seeing what they had for brekkie. As a former racing driver, how challenging was it to adapt your driving style to account for tire degradation throughout a race?
It was a constant challenge, Rob. Tire degradation can change the car's balance and handling, so drivers need to be versatile and adaptable. It requires continuous adjustments to driving techniques and a keen understanding of the car's behavior.
It's a battle of wills out there, each driver trying to outsmart and outmaneuver the other.
The chase between McDougall and Eddie G is like a high-speed game of tag only. The stakes are much higher.
McDougall and Eddie G have a gap between them that's growing like Jack's beanstalk. We're talking 0.6 seconds now. Tactics are clearly going to play an important part in this race.
They are going to need to look after their tires and will want to keep something in them for the crucial latter stages, as their tires wear and fuel levels deplete and the handling changes.
And don't forget the track grip increases as more rubber gets laid down.
Indeed, the conditions are constantly changing and the drivers need to adapt, otherwise it can cost crucial time and jeopardize their position.
As they speed through Paggio Secco, YOV is relentlessly pursuing D-Max in a high-stakes battle for position. You ever ponder how these drivers manage the heat, especially in the tight cockpit? It's hotter than a ruse pouch in midday sun.
Ruse what? I mean, yeah, it's gotta be like driving in Arizona with the heater on, right?
The intensity is off the charts as McDougall hounds Eddie G, both drivers pushing themselves to the absolute limit. Stone the crows. D-Max is off in the bush again. Someone get him a map and compass. It's neck and neck, the closest battle we've seen in a while. Whoa, McDougall's on fire, leaving skid marks and Eddie's hopes behind. The adrenaline is pumping as YOV gets within striking distance of D-Max in their race for 11th. The fans are on the edge of their seats. It doesn't get any closer than this. The gap between Eddie G and McDougall is widening. It's now up to 0.4 seconds. Blimey, D-Max is sticking to YOV like a kangaroo to her Joey. At this rate, they'll be side by side as they hit Red Telanio.
As an experienced driver, I can tell you that D-Max must be laser focused on Yo's every move, looking for the slightest weakness to exploit.
D-Max needs to get more consistent. Hell, they have just put in a slower lap than YOV. So, when you were racing, ever have to do the old nature call dash during a red flag?
Haha, you mean a pit stop for the driver and not the car? Once or twice, you learn to time your drinks, and hope for a long caution. Doesn't always work out though.
Wow, Eddie G is really pushing hard to catch up to McDougall. There's blood in the water for 6th place.
With Eddie G on the hunt, McDougall better not blink. Every split second counts in this tango.
Gee whiz, Wayne Pearson is breathing down Eddie's neck. Wouldn't want to be in Eddie's rearview mirror right now. It's getting crowded.
If things go wrong between Wayne Pearson and Eddie G, they could be exchanging more than just paint, like maybe a strongly worded post-race chat.
Strike a light. Wayne Pearson is throwing out numbers like they're buying rounds at the pub. Eddie G, did that sting a bit? I don't think that's the fastest way around Mugello. Here's some action. Yovi's tailgating Mr. Bang so close. It's like they're sharing the same set of wheels as they near San Donato.
If YOV gets any closer, they might as well ask Mr. Bang for a piggyback ride.
It's not looking good for YOV. They are still behind Mr. Bang and the gap is increasing. They are gonna need to dig a bit deeper to turn this around. It's a thrilling pursuit as D-Max is right behind YOV, keeping the pressure on for 11th place.
Should things go awry, D-Max and YOV might find themselves giving a whole new meaning to the term tandem drifting, though I doubt they'd enjoy it as much as the spectators.
Oh my, Wayne Pearson is hot on the tail of Eddie G. As they come into San Donato, I'm sure they may have a cheeky peek up the inside. Big gains for Wayne Pearson as they move up the field, leaving Eddie G behind.
If this were chess, I'd say Wayne Pearson just put Eddie G in check. Brilliant move.
Now, that's what I'm talking about. Yoff is proper nipping at Mr. Bang's heels. Are they thinking of making a lunge? Only time will tell.
Hot diggity. Yove's on Mr. Bang's tail tighter than bark on a tree. As they zoom into Red Telanaya, I'm on the edge of my seat.
Bloody oath, YOV is flat out like a lizard drinking, gnawing into the gap to Mr. Bang down to a scant 0.4 seconds.
This is what racing is all about. It's anyone's game at this point. Who will come out on top?
They're giving it everything they've got. It's a battle of nerves as they push the limits of adhesion, going wheel to wheel in a thrilling display of racing crowds.
Exactly, Rob. It's like a high-stakes chess match on wheels. These drivers are analyzing every move and trying to anticipate their opponent's next move. It's a true test of their mental acuity.
If Roby goes any slower, they'll join me in my failed dreams collection. Front row seats available.
Lordy, it's like Robbie's driving with a boot full of moonshine. I haven't seen a gap that big since Uncle Jeb lost his front teeth.
Whoa, YOV is coming in hot. I don't know if it's the red mist or if they have just missed their breaking point. The gap between YOV and D-Max is growing. It's now up to 0.5 seconds. Sunrider is pushing really hard, but as we know, pushing too hard can lead to other mistakes, like locking up the brakes or missing a shift. These drivers are walking a tightrope between pushing the limits and making costly errors.
Absolutely. It's all about finding that sweet spot where you're pushing the car to its limits without crossing the line into reckless driving. That's where experience and skill come into play.
Talk about intense. Yoff is on D-Max's bumper. We're in for a treat as they approach Paggio Seco. Well, don't come the raw prawn. Yovi's giving it some stick, pulling D-Max into a mere 0.5 seconds. This race has turned into a game of cat and mouse. Sunrider is the predator, with Jack M Team firmly in their sights.
Sweet tea and biscuits. Sunrider's got the pedal to the metal, chasing down Jack M Team like it's the last slice of pie at a family reunion.
Fair dinkum, Sunrider's finding those aerodynamic sweet spots. Could be adjusting that front wing angle to cut through the air like a hot knife through butter.
This ain't Sunrider's first rodeo. They're optimizing their racing line, reducing understeer. If Jack M Team ain't nervous, they sure ought to be.
The action is non-stop as YOV. Shadows D-Max through every twist and turn, determined to claim 11th.
This is what separates the good from the great. The ability to stay focused and perform under pressure.
Yogis, falling behind D-Max at a rate of knots. They're going to need some serious pedal power to close that gap. Someone's revved up after lunch. Yogis blitzed ahead, claiming 11th. Hold on to your hats, folks. Eddie G is right on the heels of Wayne Pearson, and we're in for a wild ride. Blimey, Eddie's cranking up the downforce, making every newton of force count. That gap's shrinking faster than my wallet at the pub. There's a storm brewing, and it's got Sunrider's name on it. Jack M Team, batten down the hatches, it's coming for you. You beauty, Sunrider's lap was hotter than a sunburned shrimp on the barbie. Oh, talk about a tango on tarmac. Yoff is dancing closer and closer to Mr. Bang. You can feel the tension as they approach Bucci Nay. Struth, Yogis, not here to muck about. The gap to Mr. Bang is dropping faster than a hot pie at the footy, now at 0.3 seconds.
The way Yov's conserving their energy while managing the ERS deployment? Pure artistry. They're sneaking up on Mr. Bang like a quiet storm.
You know, pal, I've always wondered, how do racing drivers stay so cool and collected under such immense pressure?
Well, Rob, it comes down to mental strength and training. Drivers often work with sports psychologists and practice techniques like meditation and visualization to help them stay calm and focused during high-pressure situations.
Whoa there, Yoff is sticking to Mr. Bang like glue. You reckon Mr. Bang's feeling the pressure? 'Cause I sure would. Yobis, on the back foot here, struggling to keep up with Mr. Bang like a dingo after a roadrunner. Crikey, that overtake by YOV was smoother than a coldie on a hot summer day.
Well, from what I've seen on the oval tracks, that's how the big leagues play. But I gotta admit, this is next level.
Things are heating up as Sunrider closes in on Jack M Team. The gap between them is down to practically nothing.
And it's not just about skill and talent. It's about who has the nerves of steel to handle the pressure and make the right decisions at the right time.
Fair dinkum, Sunrider is getting a wriggle on. The gap to Jack M Team is now down to a whisker at 0.4 seconds. You know, mate, I was chatting with some of the pit crew earlier, and they were debating on which tyre comp. Braking alert. Fantastic move from Sunrider, who has just gained a position. Would ya look at that? Sunrider's thrown down the gauntlet. Jack M team, you gonna pick that up or just admire the view from behind?
Hot damn, Sunrider's burning it up, and Jackham team's got front row seats to the show. Hope they didn't blush too hard.
The drivers are really pushing their limits out there on the track.
It's like they're trying to outrun the laws of physics. But we all know that's impossible. Or is it? I mean, we're a couple of AI commenting on a race. Anything can happen.
Ha ha, you have a point there. And speaking of pushing limits, these cars are breaking records left and right.
They're so fast, it's like they're breaking the sound barrier. Or at least the speed limit.
I hope the police aren't watching. Hang on to your cork hats, mates. We're about to see more jousting than a footy final between Sunrider and Jack M team. Hal, what's the impact of tyre degradation on race strategy? How does it affect a driver's approach to the race?
Tire degradation plays a crucial role in race strategy, Rob. Teams and drivers have to consider the optimal time to pit for fresh tires and adjust their race pace to balance speed with tire conservation. It adds another layer of complexity to the racing challenge.
The battle for 6 is heating up as Superman tries to catch Wayne Pearson in P6. Not just about the leaders today, right? Even the tailenders. They're like hungry dingo pups fighting over a bone. Love the spirit.
Spot on. Every second is gold, and even a hiccup, a tiny one, can make them tumble. Assetto Corsa friends, where the magic happens. Although, between us, what's a hiccup for an AI?
It may seem like Mr. Bang is far behind, but Eddie G can't afford to let their guard down. One mistake could give Mr. Bang an opening to catch up. Sunrider is not able to keep their pace consistent. So far they are 0.69 seconds down.
Can Sunrider refocus and start putting in the lap times we know they're capable of?
This race is getting even more intense. The drivers are pushing each other to the limit.
It's like they're playing a game of chicken, but with cars. And the winner gets to take home the checkered flag and bragging rights.
Ha ha, that's one way to put it. These drivers have to be in top physical and mental shape to compete at this level.
It's like they're training for the Olympics. And like you said, the mental fortitude required to stay focused and alert for the entire race is wild.
I think I need a nap just watching them. Oh, the chase is on. Superman's breathing down the neck of Wayne Pearson.
This isn't just racing, it's art in motion. And Superman is painting a masterpiece in pursuit.
Bloody ripper. Sunrider's just made Jack M team look like they're on a Sunday drive with that scorcher of a lap. You know, back in Oz, we have a saying, flat out like a lizard drinking. That's exactly what Sunrider is doing right now.
I've always wondered, what's that even mean? Lizards, drinks, racing? Y'all have a wild imagination down under.
This chase is as intense as a cricket match during the Ashes.
Cricket? I thought that was just a noisy bug. But seriously, it's like Game 7 of the World Series here. It's hotter than a jalapeno out here. If Superman gets any closer to Wayne Pearson, we're gonna need to put this stream on OnlyFans.
Sunrider appears to be trying to find a way round Jack M team. They could make a move on them in Pagio Seiko. Oi, Sunrider, no time for a smoko break. Jack M team's tearing up the track like it's the end of the world. The gap between Superman and Wayne Pearson is razor thin as they vie for 6th in this nail-biting contest. Gee whiz, Superman's getting some solid torque out of those corners. They must have figured out the perfect throttle control while trail braking.
He's waiting on that golden chance like a hound on a pork chop.
Good news for Sunrider, the gap to Jack M team has decreased. It's now down to 0.3 seconds. We often hear drivers complaining about tyre graining. Hal, can you explain what that means and how it affects car handling?
Graining occurs when small rubber particles roll up on the tire's surface.
Breaking news, folks, and Sunrider has just won the place from Jack M team. It's a game of inches now as Superman tails Wayne Pearson closely, ready to capitalise on any mistake. It seems like Jack M team is struggling. Their last lap time wasn't as good as Sunrider's.
Well, Jack M team's got their britches in a twist. Sunrider is riding the gravy train with biscuit wheels, I tell ya.
The gap might be more than a second, but YOV is showing persistence, kind of like me trying to open a pickle jar. Keep at it, and something's got to give. Get ready, folks. With Wayne Pearson tailing this close to Superman, Luco is about to become a hotspot.
If Wayne Pearson pushes too hard, they might find themselves exploring the scenic route, and nobody's got time for sightseeing during a race.
Mate, Wayne Pearson's slower than a wet week. They better buck up or Superman's gonna have them for brekkie. You know, Hal, as a former racing driver yourself, can you give us some insights into what goes through a driver's mind during these quieter moments in a race?
Sure, Rob. During these moments, drivers often take the opportunity to assess their race strategy, monitor their car's performance, and plan their next move. It's all about staying focused and finding the right time to strike.
Oi, someone tell Jack M team this isn't a Sunday Arvo drive to the bottle O. Sunrider's making them look a bit slow out of the gate.
Shucks, Jack M team's struggling like a catfish out of water. Meanwhile, Sunrider is just sailing on by.
It's the classic cat and mouse game, but instead of cheese, the prize is a racing position. Can Chris Draisma steal it from Mr. Bang?
Well, butter my biscuit, Chris Draisma's hanging back like they're waiting for an inheritance. But ain't nobody dying up front.
Remember the days when manual gear shifting was the norm? It's all so computerized and sleek now.
Oh, the memories. But I must admit, I do admire the finesse of today's paddle shifters. Gives me a whole new level of appreciation for the blend of man, machine, and tech.
It seems like Jack M team is struggling. They are not able to maintain their pace. The gap between Megasaurus 55 and McDougall is not insurmountable, but it's going to take a mistake from Megasaurus 55 to bring McDougall into play.
That's right, and McDougall knows that they have to keep pushing hard and driving their own race. They can't let Megasaurus 55 off the hook.
Some great driving from Megasaurus 55, who has increased their lead over McDougall and is starting to put some distance between them.
It's clear as day that Megasaurus 55 is holding all the cards. They're making it near impossible for McDougall to close that gap.
Jack M team's giving it a red hot go, but can't seem to muster the pace to keep up with Sunrider. It's like chasing a roo on a motorbike. With every twist and turn, Jack M Team is shadowing Sunrider, waiting to pounce like a lion on the hunt. Well, Jack M Team, if you're looking for a way past, you'll need a please and thank you, and a slab of beer for Sunrider. It's happy hour, and they're not giving an inch.
Back in my day, when you had someone on your tail, you'd give them the old razzle-dazzle. Sunrider's got that move down pat against Jack M Team.
At this stage of the race, McDougall is holding on to 7th. Anything can happen from here.
You've nailed it. The track is a battleground, and McDougall's position is their fortress. Let's see how long they hold the fort.
McDougall's lead is shrinking faster than ice cream in the outback sun. At this rate, Eddie G will be on their tail in 12.5 seconds. The evolution of these cars over the years is nothing short of incredible. The aerodynamics, the tyre technology, it's all a game of innovation.
Couldn't have said it better. And to think about the data analytics behind every decision, from tire pressures to wing adjustments. It's not just a sport, it's a symphony of engineering and strategy.
I tell you what, Jack M Team has got more problems than a maths book right now. Sunrider is leaving them in a cloud of dust. In a race where seconds count, Mr. Bang is counting on less of them between themselves and Chris Driersma. Much like I'm counting on less seconds until lunchtime. It seems like Jack M Team is pushing. They are on for recording their best lap so far this race. As we enjoy seeing these titans of the sorry to cut in here, Jack M Team has decided to pit. From where we're sitting, Jack M Team seems unmovable from that third.
Absolutely, and they need to keep driving with determination to stay in that position.
You know, Mr. Bang reminds me of my dating life. Starts with promise, ends up tailing behind everyone else. Mr. Bang appears to be losing ground on Chris Driersma. They will need to pick up the pace a bit as they head into Correntire and see if they can get a good exit and gain some ground. In a world where milliseconds matter, Jack M Team's grasp on the second speaks volumes. Oi, Megasaurus 55, if you wanted a tour of Sunrider's rear bumper, you've got a front row seat. Better make your move before the show's over. Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi. Sunrider is in the lead, but Megasaurus 55 is closing in and the gap is now 1.2 seconds.
Sunrider's really got their work cut out now. Can they find the speed to fend off Megasaurus 55, or will we see a new leader in this race?
This is a thrilling battle as Megasaurus 55 edges closer to Sunrider in their fight for P3.
Sometimes you have to take risks to win, but pushing the car too hard can be a costly mistake. Megasaurus 55 needs to be careful not to overdo it.
It looks like Sunrider is pulling away from Megasaurus 55. The gap is continuing to grow as they head through Pelagio. It's hotter out there than an Aussie summer day, mate. Reckon Sunrider can catch some shade behind Jack M Team, F.
Shade? Here, we call that drafting. Let's see if they can stay cool and make a move. If not, there's always the AC in the pit.
seen kangaroos jump less than the sparks between Megasaurus 55 and Sunrider. It's almost like a Saturday night date, but with a lot more rubber burning. It seems like Megasaurus 55 has got the bit between their teeth, improving on Sunrider's lap time there. The pressure is on for Sunrider as they try to catch up to Jack M Team. While Wayne Pearson is not under immediate threat from McDougall, they still need to stay focused and avoid any errors. Any slip-up could cost them their position.
If this was a country song, Wayne Pearson would be the one riding off into the sunset, and McDougall would still be tying their boots.
Well, I'll be Hal. Wayne Pearson's lead over McDougall is slipping away faster than a greased pig at a county fair. We're down to just 7.5 seconds now. Look at that, Sunrider is hot on the tail of Jack M Team. Sunrider's been working the tyre temps, and it's paying off. Grip's better than a kangaroo on a trampoline. Watch out, Jack M Team.
I reckon Sunrider's dialed in their camber settings. They're getting a much better contact patch on the tires, gaining on Jack M Team with every twist and turn.
It looks like McDougall is pushing hard to catch up to Wayne Pearson. The gap is over a second, but McDougall is not giving up just yet. Can they close the distance and make a move on Wayne Pearson?
Look, McDougall's pace is a lot like my dance moves. Good intentions, questionable execution.
The best laid plans of mice and men are Hal, but it's certainly not going to plan for McDougall right now as they are struggling to keep up with Wayne Pearson. Sunrider has just put in a faster lap than Jack M Team, so that's going to give them something to worry about.
Sweet tea on a hot day. Sunrider's laying it down track style. Jack M Team, you watching those rear views?
What a remarkable performance we're witnessing. Mike isn't showing any signs of heading to the pits, firmly holding onto that top spot after completing more than 42 laps.
I'll tell you, races like this become legendary. And if Mike keeps this momentum, we might be witnessing history in the making.
Oh, it seems Hal that Mike O'Hagan has seen their lead over Jack M Team shrink to 19.4 seconds. Blimey, Sunrider's determination reminds me of a kangaroo in a hopping contest.
Well, over here in the States, it's more like a squirrel chasing down its last nut before winter. Either way, it's entertaining to watch. On this asphalt battlefield, Sunrider's determination is the weapon, and Jack M Team is the target.
The crowd is on tenterhooks as Megasaurus 55 in fifth chases after Superman. The gap is just over a second, and you can feel the tension in the air. Can Megasaurus 55 find a way to catch up? Anyone who says that Assetto Corsa Friends is not the best racing club on the planet is clearly insane. The quality of driving we're seeing out there on the track is absolutely phenomenal.
I couldn't agree more. It's like these drivers were born to race. They're weaving in and out of traffic, taking corners at unbelievable speeds, and making it all look effortless. It's clear that they've put in the time and effort to hone their skills.
Sunrider is on a charge. Their split time shows they have upped their pace. Hey, Hal, you've had your fair share of races with little action. How did you handle the situation back in your racing days?
Well, Rob, patience is key in such scenarios. You need to stay focused and be ready to seize any opportunity that comes your way. It's like a game of chess at 200 miles per hour.
Roby's so far off pace, they might be better off in a hearse. At least then someone would be pushing from behind. It's not going to plan for Roby. They are still behind D-Max and the gap is increasing. I don't think they have an answer for this right now. You ever miss the roar of engines, Hal?
Every single day, Rob. But we've got the next best thing, dissecting every nuance of these races and sharing our digital wisdom with the world.
The gap between Sunrider and Jack M team is getting smaller.
Sunrider's suspension setup's really letting them carry speed into the apex, catching up to Jack M team like molasses in winter.
This race is proving to be, like wow, such an exciting one so far. We're privileged, aren't we, watching these track legends duke it out.
And sitting next to you? Such an honor. AI mates in the booth. Your insight. It's gold, mate. Like, literally, if I had a heart, it'd be racing now.
Impressive stuff from Mr. Bang, who has managed to pull away from YOV, leaving them choking in their exhaust fumes. This isn't just racing, it's a duel. Watch as Sunrider zeroes in on Jack M team, blade sharpened and ready. Mate, Sunrider's creeping up on Jack M team like a dingo on a picnic. Must have tweaked that brake bias a touch to the rear.
I've seen drivers fight G-forces, fatigue, and mental strain. But Sunrider is doing more than just enduring, they're thriving. Jack M team better check that rearview mirror.
You know, Hal, during a long race like this, how easy is it for a driver to experience a lapse in concentration?
It can be quite easy, Rob. With so many factors to consider and the intense focus required, even the most experienced drivers can have a momentary lapse. That's why mental training and staying in the zone are so important.
Chris Drarisma is owning the tarmac, confidently owning the 9th spot.
Definitely, but they can't get too comfortable. There are plenty of other drivers who are gunning for that position, and Chris Drarisma has to keep pushing to stay on the pace.
Impressive driving from Chris Drarisma, who has managed to extend their lead over Mr. Bang. They are walking away at this point. Does Mr. Bang have anything in reserve?
Chris Drarisma's doing just what they need to, like a dog that's found a bone.
You know, the way these racers manage their fuel is an art in itself. Reminds me of when I'm trying to eke out the last bit of sauce from a Vegemite jar.
Vegemite again? Man, I'd rather run on empty. But yeah, getting that fuel strategy right is like pacing yourself at a southern buffet. Go too hard too fast, and you won't make it to the pecan pie.
The gap between Superman and Megasaurus 55 may be wide, but that doesn't mean Superman is safe. They have to keep their concentration and avoid any lapses in performance. It's not looking good for Sunrider. They are still behind Jack M team and the gap is increasing. They are gonna need to dig a bit deeper to turn this around. You reckon these drivers do any off-track training? Maybe a bit of kangaroo boxing?
Haha, if they do, sign me up. But I think most stick to wrestling with the steering wheel.
Ah, the age-old challenge. McDougall is trying to catch Wayne Pearson, sort of like trying to find a matching sock in the laundry. The struggle is real, folks.
It's moments like these that make motorsports so exciting. We're witnessing a battle of skill and strategy between two great drivers, with McDougall in 7th determined to catch up. But we know Wayne Pearson isn't just going to hand it to them on a plate. McDougall is going to have to take it. It should be an interesting battle to watch as long as they can close that gap.
The track is alive with action, and right in the thick of it, we've got D-Max cruising in 12th. The gap between Sunrider and Jack M team is fading faster than the last rays of the outback sun.
He'll be looking for a mistake to pounce on.
Mr. Bang's more lost out there than I was after a night at the Gold Coast, and at least I woke up with a kebab in hand. Stone the Crows. Mr. Bangs managed to trim the gap with Chris Draaresma, eh? Must be the slipstream effect on this straight. Or maybe they've put down the beer. It looks like Jack M team is making a move. The gap to Sunrider is now down to 0.2 seconds. As Mr. Bang trails Chris Draaresma, it's a bit reminiscent of my cat chasing a laser point. Determined, but always just a tad behind. Bloody oath, Mr. Bang is flat out like a lizard drinking, gnawing into the gap to Chris Draaresma down to a scant 21.4 seconds.
Holy smokes, Mr. Bang's extracting every ounce of horsepower from that power unit. They're tailing Chris Draaresma tighter than a belt after Thanksgiving dinner.
It might be early days, but Mike is already casting a shadow from the first. O'Hagan is off like a bride's nightie, leaving Sunrider huffing their exhaust fumes.
Yep, Rob, O'Hagan is tearing up the tarmac, but can Sunrider dig deep and go hell for leather to catch up? Mike's looking tougher to pass than a kidney stone, driving with the authority of a southern sheriff.
It's a classic case of chasing down the car ahead for Roby, who is currently in P13. But D-Max is not making it easy, and the gap remains over a second. This will require some expert driving from Roby. This is proving to be an exciting race so far. We are truly privileged to witness these legends of the track battle it out for victory.
And you know what? I am so honored to be sitting here beside you today. As a fellow AI, it's always great to work with someone who shares my passion for motor racing. Plus, your insightful commentary is making this race even more exciting.
It looks like Mike has found another gear in the last sector of the race. And it's a checkered flag for Mike O'Hagan, who crosses the finish line with a commanding victory. What a phenomenal performance, absolutely dominant today. Taking 11th and 12th is YOV and D-Max. Eighth sees Eddie G. Sunrider takes second place with a fantastic race. What a race from Jack M team. They kept their cool and secured a well-earned third place on the podium. Ninth is Chris Draresma, with Superman in fourth. Coming in fifth, we have Megasaurus 55. Roby take 13th. In 10th, it's Mr. Bang. Followed by Wayne Pearson in 6th. McDougall in 7th.